Yeah, I'm excited that I finally got to move. Got to move from New York. It was, I was able to move because my grandmother passed away. She was 90, she was very controlling. And when she finally went, my friends, I had to explain. She said, well, what happened? I said, I had to go to her house. She had her funeral clothes laid out. She said, that's so sad. You mean she knew it was coming? I said, no, we're Sicilian. She's been planning her death since 1972. You know what I mean? And my grandmother was excited. Sicilians live to die. That's their big to-do. She would take me through the house as a child every time I visited her. And she would show me all the furniture, the mermaids with the rhinestone nipples, the gold tasseled furniture, and the plastic fruit, the 400 crucifixes, and say, Maija, when I die, I'm gonna leave you all of this. I say, Grandma, may you live forever, because we don't need any of this stuff. But she died, and she actually left me like 400 Jesuses. I don't care what your background is. It is almost impossible to throw away a Romy-eyed bleeding Jesus. I put the few of them in the garbage. You're staring up at me. Why have you forsaken me? I'm like, all right, I'll take you out. The guilt. I moved to Los Angeles 3,000 miles with a box of Jesuses. Thank God I had Mexican neighbors, because they make for great Christmas gifts. I feel like I'm at home because, the Mexican people, they're like the Italian people. Everyone's like Olive when they got the same name. You know what I mean? Everyone's about this tall. And my grandparents, they were very old world. They didn't want to learn the language when they came here, no matter what. The only thing I could understand my grandfather saying was in every story, someone was missing a limb. That's pretty much what I'd make out. Every story is like, Maija, I go to Rome, and I tell the guy, I'm a Giuseppe DiGiorgio. I said, okay. So I tell him Giuseppe. He says, I don't know you. I said, your cousin Gino sent to me. Gino who missed the ear? No. Gino who missed the leg. He's friends with my father, Melchoro. I don't know Melchoro. Sure, Melchoro the butcher who missed 3 fingers. He give your cousin a salami to put in the leg so he can walk home. And the guy says, ay, now I remember, Giuseppe, you're the kid who missed the eye, son of the butcher who missed 3 fingers who gave my cousin the salami to put in the leg so he can walk home. Why didn't you say so? And Maija, the guy takes me in the restaurant. He tells everybody the story what my father do for the guy, and a tear coming to my one eye. My grandparents were hilarious. They were obsessed with making us as Italian as possible. I mean, simple things. As a kid, you're watching Sesame Street, you see Cookie Monster, you want a chocolate chip cookie. Nah, I got something better. It's a pinoli. Pinoli? I want chocolate chips. It's good. It's got a pinoli into the cookie. What's pinoli? Pine nuts. Pine like pine sol, pine nuts. It's good. It's got an amaretto. Amaretto. I'm 7. What am I, Drew Barrymore? She was determined to make me happy, though. She was going to buy me with food, and that's how you do it, She showed with chocolate chips the next time I saw her. These are good. It's a fluffy stuff. Oh, chocolate chip ice cream. This is great. One scoop. What the hell? It's cannoli. It's a ricotta. Ricotta cheese and chips. Really, Grandma? What are you trying to kill me? And then she'd cry. She said, oh. I'm like, all right, Grandma, fine. I'll eat this is good. Oh, you Italian. You so Italian. She would say that because she was competing with my mother, who wasn't Italian. My Italian grandmother hated on my mother so much for not being Italian, my mother never told us what we were. She was yellow, with freckles, and she had the kind of hair that if she scratched her head, you could hear it from across the room. And we would ask my mother all the time, Mom, what are we? She'd say, why? Who wants to know? And we go back, look, you gotta tell us. We're kids, you gotta say something. She said, well, you tell those kids if they wanna know you're everything. So that's not gonna cut it. She said, well, tell them you're Italian and you're French. French Creole. And then she said, if they don't know what Creole is, tell them to look it up. I looked it up. It said to be prepared with tomatoes, green peppers, onions. This went on till I was 14. My mom dies, and all these black folks show up at the funeral. Right? Now the Italians are like, wow, what is it over? Why is the cleaning crew here? Hey, the Italians didn't say that because they were racist. That would be an unfair stereotype. They said it because those black folks showed up 2 hours late. Now, I'm in the room, and this woman, who looks like my mother, she's about 4'11", both ways. Looks like my mother if she had been born a brown blueberry, you know? Walks over and says, your mother never told you she was black. Now that messed me up. I ended up in therapy, and I told my white therapist, she said, oh, this must have been horrible. You're there, this woman you've never seen before comes over with clutched teeth and just says, your mother never told you she was black. I was like, no, she's black. She didn't say it like that. It was more like, you didn't know you were black, did you? Man, I was like, wow. That's why I know how to throw a ball like a guy and I'm not a lesbian. You know, my odd fear of white policemen, you know? Why those white boys would beat me down in the schoolyard, why I keep jumping back up yelling, bring it! Do you know what I'm saying? My uncontrollable urge to drive an unregistered vehicle on an expired driver's license. And I did therapy, I did support groups, you know, because it's hard. And people say, why is it so hard? There's been mixed kids ever since black folks landed in the United States. The difference is we're the post-civil rights babies. We're the first group whose white parents actually claimed us. And that screws you up. I joined a support group for black people like me. Guy there, half Jewish, half black, Tyrone Bergenstein. Lives in the projects, but he owns the building. Girl there, half Korean, half black, Dong Suk, Washington. Go to Korean market, follows herself around the store. Half Mexican, half Jamaican. Rolls a burrito like this. That's my time.